What's up, guys? Welcome. And as you see by the topic, I lost the first match of the championships, and I felt quite sad. Not because that I didn't know what to do or that my technique was a bit off, but there's just one thing that made the entire scenario look as if I was not ready for the entire match. Physically, I would say I trained enough. I took like 2 months, morning and afternoon, and hard work. But then there's just one thing that I completely left out, which was my mental prowess or mental work. And I thought that I was doing it, but then there was time that I was, but not completely. So what happened was, when after training you just be like, no, this is what I'm going to do in the ring, and you don't really sit down and actually visualize it. So that's what happened to me. So I thought that just cheating it off is going to pay off, but then when the day came closer, my nerves were all over the place. So as a boxer, it's important for us to channel our to channel the nerves. So this is what I mean. So let's say there's a passage here and your nerves are through this passage and you can channel them properly. Like, it's normal to have fight nerves, but with me, what happened was I was not able to control it. My body was literally stiff, I was shaking, and my head was all over the place. I was there, but consciously I was not there. My body was just reacting to what it's used to. So my muscle memory, taking out the punches, moving out the way. And there was a time where I was pausing a bit, freezing up. But that was because mentally I wasn't prepared. And this is what is neglected in most of the gyms, like majority of the gyms, this is what is neglected. And the reason I say this is because we focus so much on physical training, and that just leads us to think that that is enough. To a certain extent, it isn't, because this is not just about physical strength, it's also about the mental prowess. Like, how are you going to do inside there? The minute you're not mentally strong, you just lost the entire fight. So my mind gave up before the match was finished. I posted a video of it, and you see that I got like a punch to the stomach, and my mind literally switched off. I literally wanted to drop and completely finish the match. But then my body reacted, and I just lifted up and stood up again, and the match was not over. So it just comes to show that the mind was weak, but the body was actually prepared for what was about to come. So for those, whether you're having your first match or you're going for the second one, I would really advise you to spend more time on mental prowess. This could be visualization. For example, if you're just starting off, divide it into 5 minutes each. So what is going to happen? 5 minutes of meditation after training, 5 minutes of visualization. The minute you see that you're deviating from what you're supposed to be focusing on, for example, in meditation, focusing on your breathing, and once you start seeing that you're no longer focusing on your breathing, you're thinking about something else that you're supposed to be doing in the next 10, 30 minutes, or when you get home, then you go back to your breathing technique. And then the same thing with visualizations. Once you see that you're no longer thinking what you're going to be doing in the ring, you're thinking about something else, or what you're going to eat, or what will happen if you don't do that certain thing. That does not involve boxing. You go back straight into that scenario of thinking, what am I going to do in the ring? And I think that is going to help you a lot, because for me it helped me. And even though it didn't take that much for me to actually get used to it, because I felt really depressed after that match. Not because as I just said, I didn't know what to do, because I was so disappointed that there's so many people who came to watch me, and the guys also helped me out, the coaches and all that. But then with the second day, I won the match and I got a silver medal. But even though I got a silver medal, I knew that I could have done much better and got a gold. So I learned from my mistakes, back to a drawing board. And this sport, whether you lose or win, you're always going to learn something. So it's quite important to continue learning and have an open mind.